So back to where we left, we was going to check on modifying strings in Python, and yeah. So let's get on to it. So what do we mean by modifying strings? So Python has this set of built-in methods that you can use on strings. So such built-in methods include changing strings to uppercase to lowercase. So let me show you how we're going to do about that. So we had print hello world, and suppose we want to change everything to lowercase. So we come, we give it the variable. Let's say we want to convert this a string. Yeah, so that's a string, and let's say hello world. Let's see if we can convert it to uppercase. So we do this, we print, and we come and say dot upper, give it upper is a function. So method. Save and let's see what we go see. It's in caps hello world. So this is how we modify strings. Suppose we want to convert um, a to lowercase, so we just do the same. So we'll print save. See what it returns. Let's clear it first. See what it returns. See, it's all in lowercase. Yeah. So suppose you want to remove the white space from the beginning or the end. We have the spaces that we removed. We have the spaces that we want to remove. Remember, I told you that the space that we had from this and these are actually spaces, and are actually considered indexes uh, by the len method. Remember, so if you want to remove the spaces, you can come type print a dot strip. Use the strip method to strip strip. So this will in turn remove the spaces. So let's see. Okay. So there are no spaces here. So let's see. We have a space there. We have a space there. Let's have a space there between the middle and see what. As you can see, spaces in between hello and the world, you can see there's a difference, that there is something aligning, that the space between the space starting from the string to the end have been removed. So strip is actually, yeah. So that's how we modify the string. Also replace the string, replace it. Suppose you want to replace um, something with something. So let's say we have that a is equals to string of Mexico. we want to replace M with, let's say we want it to be read lexicosity. So we want to replace M with L. So we'll print. Okay, so then let's not use the variable A. Let's use B. Predict. So let's use the variable B, and we can come and say A. So the method here is replace. The replace will take two parameters. Will take what letter you want to replace, which is M in this case, and what I want to replace it with, which is A in this case. So let me save. No, 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 no. So let me save. Clear, clear this up. So you can see reads Jexico City. So these are how we modify strings. So this is replacing M with J, that is Mexico with Jexico, so it reads Jexico City. Yeah. So these are among ways we could modify the string. Yeah. We could also split it. You know, split the strings. So suppose we have Mexico. We want to split this B. So we are going to use B. You guessed it, it's split. So the split variable takes a parameter, which depending on what we want to split. So we want to split in between the commas, right? In between Mexico City. So let me show you how we're going to do about that. So let's save here, run it. As you can see, we have two strings now which have been combined in array. So we'll have Mexico City, Mexico, which will be the index one, and no, which will be index zero. Remember, and one. So we'll have Mexico as index zero, and city as index one. So that's how we split strings. So there are various methods we modify, but those are the key methods to modify strings. Suppose suppose we really want to change some. Suppose we want to concatenate. Let me comment that we want to concatenate strings, which is like we want to add a string, we want to add strings with strings, we want to add strings with numbers. We want to add a lot of things. See, yeah. So in our case, let me start by concatenating strings with strings. So suppose we have T, which is land. Give it a string of land, and H, give it load, and load, and we will concatenate. So we say E equals to T, T plus H. Save it. Print E. Print E we got from concatenate. Let's see what we get from E. So clear on it. See, it has combined from the variables T and H, and we get landlord. So you see, that's how we concatenate a string. Yeah, yeah. We could also decide to add a space in between the strings. See, so instead of saying that, we can have that T will be plus E, like plus H rather. Yeah. So in between the plus, we can say that we have a space in between, and we plus it. see what it returns. Clear this. So as you can see that there is the space in between A and B and the other one. So then this space here, so it can be definite. So, right. Yeah. So yeah, that's how we concatenate strings with strings. We could also format strings. So format is in the sense that we want to we want to we want to combine strings with numbers. Rather, remember, we want to combine strings with numbers. So suppose we have, let me comment it first. Suppose we have student with marks of given 78, an integer, integer. We also want to print out something. We have a statement that reads, let's say, let's say, looks, say, John, John has marks. Now we want to put this marks variable with the placeholder of 78 to be actually John's marks. So how are we going to do about that? And so we can actually, John has marks. You can comment that here away from the string, concatenate that plus sign, and you can come and say marks. If I print docs should be something like John has marks 78. So let's see. Comment, comment, plus that. So we're getting an error. Getting an error. So you can see can only concatenate string, not integer to string. See, so there's an error we're getting. So you see, we cannot combine string with the string and everything. So rather than that, we can decide that we can format this to that. Yeah. So we can come and say that text. So we can come and say that since we're getting this error, remove these marks. Yeah, remove it as marks, and we print docs, but now we format it. Format it with H marks. So marks. So let's save it. See if we can escape this error. So let's clear, and let's save it. Before we do that, we have to put this first. This thing first. Calibrate this first, so that we can get it as formatted. So let's save it. Let's run it. So you can see that John has marked 78, which is an integer. So after formatting, we have escaped the error that I showed you, that when we combine strings with numbers, we get the error that we cannot concatenate strings with numbers. But when you use the format method, we can actually concatenate strings with numbers. So all goes for the same. That's how you concatenate strings, but strings with numbers by formatting. Formatting where you can decide to put the curly braces to show where you want the formatted number or the formatted integer to be. Yeah. So that's it. So let's move on to something else we call the Python booleans. So next topic is Python booleans. So this actually are out types. So we also have a data type bool actually boolean rather. Bool is short form of it. We can have we can have numbers which actually ask between true and false. Booleans is all about having true or false, or something that is true or false, true or false. Yeah. Suppose we have, let's say, we want a boolean for give it, say, give it. Say, suppose we have numbers that we would like to check if 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 they're actually true. So let's say print numbers that claim that 10 is actually less than 4. Let's have another print statement. We have 10 being less than 24, I guess. Let's print another print statement declaring 10 actually equals. So let's save this and let's clear. You can see we have this declared as false. Actually, the boolean does is that it checks whether the condition declared by it is actually true or false. So 10 is not actually less than 4. So it's false. But 10 is actually less than 24, so it's true. But 10, is it actually less than 46? So I had to say this that when you declare something like 10, it's like 10 46. This is saying that 46 is actually the same as 10. I know you're used to something like 10 is equals to 46, but now when you do this, this would refer that 46 is actually the placeholder and the variable is 10. So that's the difference. So if you want to um, compare things with things, use the um, double answer sign this and so so we also have a lot of things we can do from booleans, from checking if the conditions being met is true and everything. And, so let's check something else. Suppose we want to print n. Let's save it. Let's clear. Let's run it. You can see this is true. 10 is actually the same as 10. So it's So moving on, let's talk about Python operators. Comment Python operators. And, Python operators as I've seen we have okay, let's start that. We can see we have 2, we can have various. So we can have um, result. Maybe you want to print the result. Yeah. So here on here declaring this is an operator. Is what we call operator. These are actually things that can operate on strings or on numbers or anything else. So these are actual operators. So this is an addition. We want to sum up something with something. So something with something. Let's see what we get. This is of course I know you know here. Purpose of it, let's try it out. It's 8. Suppose we want to get another result. Okay, so we want to subtract. We want to subtract this. So we use that. Suppose we also this is a subtractional operator. So this is suppose we want to multiply this. So create result 2 and multiply will use this operator. So this actually operation. Suppose we also want to divide that. Divide. So for the division, this is division operator. Let's save it and let's see what it says. Purpose of clarification. You can see how I hadn't printed it out. So let's print them out. Okay, so let's do it. So we have 1, we have 2, we have 3. Let's save it and let's see what. Let's clear this. And let's save it. And see, we have 82, we have 15, we have 1.6667. Yeah, so we have a float there. So these are actually Python operators. You can do this for all. You can divide. You can also have something else that maybe you're not familiar with. Something else like the modulus of something. So the modulus is an operator that deals with something. Let me show you. So result 4. And, we have num1 and basically we have num2. Now we want to get the remainder of num2. So we'll use the percentage sign. Let's copy this and let's see what we get. But say before we all we have to do is try um, this equation. So clear this. Let's see what we get. As I said, this is what we get. This is called the modulus. And this is what we get. We get the remainder of a division. No, we don't get the remainder of the division. We get um the 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 number that we're dividing is, yeah. Now we get the remainder of the division. Remainder of the division. In this case, we had 5 divided by 3, and 5 divided by 3, we will get 2 as the remainder. Yeah. So that's how we get the modulus from this division. Yeah, we could also have a function. Let's suppose I want to have an exponential function. For those who are doing statistics, you know this that have exponents. So let's paint result five for an exponent. We that oh, this is the exponent. Exponent. Let's print result five. As you can see, so it said 5 exponent to 3. So it's like 5 power 3. See, so we get it 125. So that's how we get the exponents of that. Suppose we also want to try something called the floor division. So let me put, copy paste this, copy and paste. Okay, paste this. Let's paste it. So what I'm doing here is actually called the floor division. So this floor show you what it does right now. So let's print result. So this six rather. So let's print result six. Save it. Let's clear it. Right. So the flow of the division is we get one, meaning that when we this is what we get. Remember, this was the remainder. This was the remainder, but this is the multiple times that 3 will divide 5. See, so 5 divided by 3 will only get one time of division. If it was 6, if it was 6, say 6, 6, divide that, clear it, run it, you get 2. You get 0 because it's dividing by everything. So let me turn it 5. So flow is actually in, uh, how many times, how many times 3 will divide 5, which is one time. So that's how we get the floor division. Yeah. So that's basically it mostly about operators. Aside from that, additional operators or arithmetic operators rather, we also have assignment operators. So this is key because when we want to assign variables, so this was what we call this was arithmetic operators. You know. So let's go to assignment operators. Assignment operators is like how we dealt with variables, but we're going to use the nouns and everything. Let's say that we have a number that we want to delegate. Yeah, yeah. So suppose we have the letter y, the letter y, letter y. You can say that y multiply. Let's add it the one. Think y. See what we get. Yeah, right. Okay, so we get the same error. Cannot concatenate string with string and everything. So let me say this was num1. This was num1 as well. You all know that num1 is 5. Um, print num1 here. See, let's clear that. Let's run it. So as you can see that the num1 has not been really delegated from it. So okay, this is the problem. Yeah. Let's save it. Let's try it. Try it again. As you can see, it's 6. So this was 5 plus 1, but now it's 6. Suppose we want to multiply 5 num3, num3, okay, num2, and let's print num1. So num1 was actually 5, but in this case, we get something else. Interesting. As you can see, so num1 is actually 15 because we actually assigned it. The equals actually assigned this as well. As I told you, this now will be acting as a variable. So this will be num1, this will be num2, so this is 5 times 3, so this is 15. Let's say we want to power it. Exponent. Yeah, right. So num1 right now is 1. If I decide to run all these functions, like result is equals to num1 plus 2, so this will be 125 plus 3, 125 minus 3, 125 times. So we actually have replaced num1 with something else interesting. So we've getting the values and everything of num1. So that's it, majorly about operators, Python operators. Mostly, I've actually covered them um, from 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 what we've discussed. Yeah, we've actually covered it. Some operators maybe include these operators. This also an operator. Where's the this is also an operator. This is not in. This is also an operator. This is called the membership operator. The membership operator. So it checks the membership of this. We're in the string. So let's see. So that's it. So let me move on to something interesting. I had said before. Let's talk about lists. Yeah, I don't know why I'm getting to comment, but Python lists. Okay, so Python lists interesting. So let me declare it here. Remember, we typed the type of A and we got it as list. That let's put it here so you can see it clearly. So this lists. So these are the Python lists, which can take um, multiple items in a single variable. Yeah, so you can actually print it. Yeah. So what we actually do with the list is actually we can determine the length of the list that shown you before. So when determine the length of the list, you can say we use the print. We use the print again. The len method. Let's see what we get. So let's get this. As you can see, the length of car, land, and apartments 3, which is actually true. If I add more, say we have houses, say we have something like houses, 8, and see we have a length of 4. So this actually can determine the length the variables that are being held. Okay, the length of the items that are being held by the variable of the list type. Yeah. So we can get the list. We can check. That's how we get the list. So if I want to access a list item, suppose I want to know this list, this list, this list, or this list rather, the last in the list. Okay, so let's see. Yeah. See, the last item in the list is houses. So this is what we get. We used to get for the item in the first of the list. Let's say we want to get the say we want to get the item first of the list. That and we'll use basic use zero. As I said before, zero is the first index and a list, which is typically an array. So let's see classification. Okay, you can see the first item is car, which is true, it's car. So if we can access any, the same way any. So if this is we want to access land, you can say one. Yeah, and, and six land. Yeah. So whichever way you want to access items, you can access them from any way you want. Suppose I want to access a range of items, not only one. I want to access from one to four. Yeah. So we actually have four. So let's see. When I say one to four, this four will not actually access the house. So let's see. Let's clear turn on this one and let's run it. So you can see we have land, apartments, and houses. This is the index one. It will take the index one, but when it goes to the fourth, it won't touch the fourth. Fourth. Okay, so if I had like, let's say if I had golf, say golf, run it, try it again, clear, and see, still houses. So it'll actually take from the first index to the last, to not the last index, but to where the third index is. You see, so it will take land, apartment, house. If I wanted to take all except the last, I would have done this as well. See, except the last. Yeah. So all index except the last. So what else do we have? Suppose I want to get everything from the first index. I don't want car, but everything else I want. So we use this. We use this one. Let's save it. Let's clear and let's see what we'll have. Get everything else except car. Yeah. So this is how we manipulate string. We manipulate the list in strings and everything. We can get that. We can get that. So suppose I want something else interesting. Suppose I want this to be a minus two, minus three rather. This minus one. What will you get here? Try it. Try it out. Have fun. So run it. We'll have apartment houses. So remember that we won't take this. We won't take this. But the range will start from negative 3. Remember. So negative 3 will start from this is negative 1. This is negative 1. This is negative 2. This is negative 3 in the order of array from starting from the back. If it was 3, it would have been this 3. But now if you start from the back, this would be the third one, coincidental. So this is the negative 1, this is negative 2, this is negative 3. So we're taking everything from negative 3, but we're leaving it to the last. So we won't take the last. So that's how we get. There are so many methods to access list items and everything. Yeah, you can access them, manipulate them, and everything. So suppose I want to change the list. The list I want to update the list, so I can come and say I want that. So I'll come and say for the index zero, for the index zero, let's say okay, for the index, let's say index zero, I want it not to be car. I don't want it to be car. I want specific type of car. I want it to go. Let's see what the print one will print. So that's clear. Right. Okay. As you can see, okay. So let me do this. This. I want it from the zero index to not the last index. So create. As you can see, we have Toyota now. So we actually have changed them from car to Toyota. So this is how we change list items. Yeah. And change it from values from everything else. So suppose I want to change from, not only from Toyota, I want to change it to something else. I want to change this to from that to apartment. Yeah. So apartment is that index. So I'll say till four. Not only have Toyota, have a list of items. We'll have Toyota. We'll have not any land. We'll have an acre land. Okay, let's side it. Have land. We can also have an acre. Instead of apartments, let's have something villas. So from that we want to get that. So we want to change items in the front. Yeah, front. As you can see, we have Toyota, we have Deca, we have villas from the printed. So we can see from 0 to 1. We have from 3 to 1, which is that and that. We have Eka and villas. So it shows that it works. So we can actually change not only one item but the range of items. Yeah. So yeah. Also insert items, not only change them but insert. So for insert, we're going to use the guess it. We're going to use the insert function. So for the insert, I want something else to be in the array. So I'll come and say a insert. Put the where you want to insert it as the index. So I want to insert it between land and apartments. So this is 0, this is 1. I want it in the second index. So that is that. And what do you want to put? I want to put something else. Not having like acre or villas because we changed it here. So comment is that name. So I want to have it between acre and villas. I want to have something else. I want to have suppose I want to have food total get. So let's print everything. Zero index. It and run it. So you can see we have Toyota, acre, we have pool, we have villas, we have golf. So we actually have access. We have actually added pool to pool to the list. Yeah. So there are various ways to actually manipulate lists and everything. We have also we can remove list item, we can loop through a list, we could sort list, copy lists, we can do a lot of those things in the list. But for purpose of this tutorial, I want to go through them. But I'll actually go through with this actually one thing or two things about the list. We can also loop through the list. So let's say it. Have loop a list. So let's do it. So to loop a list, we use the for. So we'll actually give it. I haven't thought about looping, but I'll go it. later in the course. So for A, you want to print I. You want to print everything in the list. So you say for I, this is the variable that you want to print and everything. You want to print and everything and within this list. So let's print. You can see we have Toyota, we have Echo, we have Pool, we have Villas, we have Golf. See, see. Yeah. So we have Pool, Villas, Golf. So that's how we do it. That's how we do it. Can loop through list. We also have a way you can do it. You can sort list, join lists as well. So suppose we have two lists that we want to join. Yeah. So we have A, now let's have a B list. Let's have another list. Let's have a B list consisting of nothing more than numbers. So let's say C is actually A plus B. We want to add this list. Print C. As you can see, we've added the list. We have Toyota, Acre, Pool, Villas, Golf, and also we have 98, 78. So if I decided to loop through C rather than A, so you see we have looped to the list and we have everything. We have 98, 78, and everything. So this is how we can join lists from whatever we want to join. So remember I told you we had lists. We had lists, we had tuples, we had a range, we had all these sorts of things. So let me get to it. So as I had said, we had tuples, we had list tuples, we had ranges. Those are part of what we had. And so let's do it. So a tuple, as I had said before, we actually there's the tuple. Yeah, so this is a tuple which had brackets. So we want to access the tuple. So this is an example of a tuple. We have let's comment it. We have Python. Uh, so let's see. Let's paste what we had there. This tuple. So as for tuples, we can um, we can print the tuples. We can actually confirm the length of the tuples, which is very important. I'll show you in why I'm getting the length of tuples and arrays of anything else. Let's see. Let's print B. And as you can see, the length of tuples is true. It's 3. So this is the length of tuples. So we could create a tuple with one item, just removing all the rest. We could do the same. We could add. We could put strings. That's the good thing with tuples. Tuple is that really don't really need to have um, the same thing with the same data type. We could have, have just a 98. We have true is of Boolean type. We have float, float of 56. Yeah. Okay, let's print length of the tuples. As you can see, it's 6. So it's 1, 2, 3. It's actually taken everything as part of it, as an item of it. So that's the good thing with tuples. You can take anything of every different data type. Yeah. So let's see. So that's how we declare a tuple. But we can also declare it another way. We could say that you have my tuple, and you can fix tuple. Uh, Land. That's what I call give it 90 as well. Well, print tuple. Okay, so we're getting a good error. So we're expecting at least one argument, but we got four. So why is this? This is because for such a tuple, we expected one argument. So in that case, we'll cut this if error on top as well. As you can see, this is how we do it. This is how we add tuples. We can do this. I like to do this because this is something else. But also, you could also access the tuple function. The class tuple, you can see it's a built-in immutable sequence. No arguments given. See, so it's actually a class. So it expects only one argument with this event. So that's it for tuples. Yeah, we could manipulate tuples, we could update same way we could do all that. However, I'm not going to discuss that. Let me leave you to that if you're interested in tuples and lists, sets and dictionaries. Let's do that. So I'm going not to teach you about sets. Yeah, yeah. Because sets is used to store multiple items in a single variable the same way we do with list and tuples, only that it uses square brackets. Yeah. So this is how we declare a set. So a set, let's say we have C. This is how we declare sets. Take this and copy. So this is an example of set. Yeah. So, so we could do all that. We could change. We could manipulate them. We could set them. We could order them. We could do a lot. We could actually print the length using the len. Yeah, we could um, combine the sets. So that's it. As for dictionaries, dictionaries will be using dictionaries in the later part of the course, in the intermediary part of the course, and dictionary is something. Oh, dictionary is something. We want to map something to something. Say we have something like candidates. And we want to map it to something. Yeah. So we want to map name with something. We want to map name with something. So we have candidates. We have candidates who have name, and we have use my name. King must be strings. The position on reply. Tricky, but you get the point. Yeah. So the position maybe I want to apply as a candidate is senior. Remember also I always had that com candidates stuff, dictionary rather. So you can all have that, then print it. We could print. what we just had could print this candidate. Yeah. Let's clear. Let's run it. Okay. So candidates is not being printed out. Let's see what. Oh, I did not save it. Save it. Yeah. As you can see, you have name. Yeah. So as in such things, it looks like something. We will build a JSON format. In the later parts of the course and the series, and everything, I'll show you how to actually implement such and such. But this is how we get from dictionaries. We map something to something, map position to something, map everything to something. So yeah, so that's about dictionaries. Dictionary is actually powerful for um, such dealings and everything. So we also will actually print the length. So to print the length, we'll do it right now. It's the length. So and if it that's clear. And you can see the length is 2. This is because we have this this. Suppose this is the key. This is what we call the key, and this is what we call the value. So this is the key. This is the key, and this is the value. Yeah. So we're good to go. You could say you could take the type, and take the dictionary and everything. So see what the type is. So the type is the length. So rather than have a length, you can have type. See what this type is Python dictionary. This is a Python dictionary. About dictionaries, you can access items, you could change items, you could add items, you could do all that. To change items, you could use the update. So rather than having it like that, we'll say update. So when we have declared the candidates, we'll say that candidates it want to update something, want to update position with something else. So update something position. But let's print candidates. It's save, it's clear. As you can see, the position it's it's top level, and yeah. So you could do that. You could change items, yeah, as well as changing. You could also add items. So rather than changing, you should also have the capability to update. Oh, not to update rather, but to add items. To add items to the dictionary. Yeah. Yeah. So we add items by declaring what we want to have first. By declaring the key, remember, declaring the key. So here we can say that we have candidates first. So we have candidate experience. Say that the experience that I have as the candidate could say is candidates. Yeah, as reflected. As you can see, his experience is up to expert from this level. So as you can see that we have it. We have actually added to the dictionary. Yeah. Have items. You could actually remove items from the dictionary. Suppose I want to remove my name from the dictionary. You don't know what to do. So the best thing you can do, the method to use is pop. I want to pop something. I want to pop my name out of the dictionary. How do I do? Pop is a method. So go, yeah, pop name. So when I say this, yeah, and his name isn't there no more. You pop the name out from the dictionary. So you're in a position, top level experience. Yeah. So that's how we um, play around in with dictionaries. Yeah. We also can loop through dictionaries, and you guessed it right. To loop through dictionaries, we use the for keyword. Let's see, I candidate codes print I. So that's it. Okay, so let's run it. As you can see, so we have it. So we have position, we have experience. Yeah. So these two. Remember, we had popped name, so that's why you only have position and experience. Yeah. So we can actually loop through whatever you want to loop through. Yeah. Could want to print the values of what we have just looped. You see, you have position experience, but what if I want to have um, top level and expert? So this is what you do. So rather than printing how it is, we print the array. We actually print the array or the index of where the array is. So instead, I say I, yeah, and yeah. So we'll have to remove the candidates from this because that's the key. And let's see what we get. Rather than getting position experience, I want to get top level and to get expert. So let's clear. Once you have top level and expert, this is how I actually access the values from the keys in the dictionary. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's how we loop through dictionaries. So we also have the Python if else statements. That's something you should know. So if statement is written by the if keyword. Yeah. So it actually supports logical conditions from mathematics. So we can say that let's get fun. So we had nums. So let's say let's say if one is now 125 greater than print something from print num1 print num first is greater. Save that. 8. See, it's printed the first is greater. Suppose 125 is not less than greater. You know, yeah. So suppose we want to print that 125 is less 3. So when you do this, yeah, see, it won't be printed out. Okay, so it won't print any. It won't print the first is greater. This is because it's false. first isn't greater than the latter. So that's where the L, L, if, and else statements come in place. So if number one isn't great, say that one, let's see if one is greater than number two, print second isn't great. It's print here this and we see the second isn't great. So that's how we actually play along with if, elif, and else statement. But suppose what I'm actually saying is false. Suppose that I'm saying that this is actually equal. Print this out. I should get nothing. Here and get nothing because both of these statements are false. So that's where the else statements come. Else won't take any parameter. Else won't take any parameter. Just print uh, both statements are false. Yes. Let's clear it. Save it. See it. So we get the statement both statements are false. This because um we have the compiler will check if this is true. If it's not true, it won't be printed. So if 125 is less than 3, this is false. So to come to this statement, next statement, elif statement, check. And sees, man, this is actually wrong. 125 isn't the same as 3. So after checking all these conditions and determining that they're false, it will just print the else statement. So else statement is the last resort of the result of this thing. So the if statement. Yeah. So you have if, you have if elif, you have else, you have all sorts of that. Yeah. So yeah, that's how we do it. That's about if statements. You know, we can also have something like opposing, opposing. So rather than have these, let's say this, and maybe it's we want to print the first is greater. We could say if that num1 is not the same with that, we can come and say here, say not. In this statement, since this is false, this will be true. Since this is false already, this will be true. So to print something, so to print the first is greater because false this is false, but now we have not. So not, so false and not is actually true. So if something is false and not, it's true. So if we had something like let's make it true, then let's see if we will have. See, comes to this if the last statement, else statement, because now this is true, but now when you have add the not, now then it becomes false and it won't be printed. It won't be printed right. So yeah, you could have a lot of things. So there's more to talk about about it. So let me talk about the nested if. We have something called nested if. So nested if, so we have x equals to 10, say y is equals to 20. So say z is equals to x plus y, which is 30 now. Yeah. So you can come and say if z is equals to 100, the number is large, and yeah, and as you can see, this is what I've just prompted here from the tabs is a suggestion by the Visual Studio Code. That's where I recommend Visual Studio Code. So you could say it prints, um, print print something else. Yeah. So let's do that. So we want to do this. Okay, so Visual Studio Code had something else in mind. Something else in mind that I didn't. So suppose you have if x, which is greater than 8. So if it's greater than 5, also have another if statement. Remember, this is a nested, so it's something within something. So you can say print less than 10. 10, 10 is greater than 10. Um, so this is less than 10. Well, then we also can also have another if statement. So you can say that if say say x is great, okay, this false. Yeah. Int greater, so have another if statement. I print this. Let's see what we get here. But for the purpose of that, I would also like to have something else. I would always like to have my else statement. Also have like always have my else statement, right? If this doesn't work, print something else. Print again. So let's save that. Let's run it. Here. Yet. As you can see, nothing has been printed because all of these are false from from the if and this. So we're gonna put the if there, that there. Let's see. Here. And so all these statements are false. So is 10 greater than 5? Yeah, but if 10 is greater than 5, is 10 greater than y? Also, this is wrong. But if since this is wrong already, since this is wrong, all this is wrong, and makes this all this wrong. See, see, all this is wrong. So if you had said that, and we say that, and let's remove this because this really part of the purpose. So let's save it and let's see. Yeah, and let's run it. So you can see, so this is false. So it's 10 greater than 20. So this is false. So yeah, but if I change this, okay, x, okay, um, like that. is 10 greater than 5? Print less than 10. However, let's do this. Let's remove that. Do that. So if x is 10 is greater than 5, it's true. 10 is greater than 5, then go for this x. So if 10 is greater than y, which is false, don't print something. So yeah, that's that. But it's false. Now, change this now. Try it. So basically, this is actually if that statement. You can get if this is a nested if statement. So that's how we do it. So that's about if statements. If can be used to check conditions, and conditions. Yeah. So that's for it. I will leave it to that. We'll leave it to if statements. This is actually what we've been discussing through the beginner tutorials, and yeah, check up. Going to We have actually leveled up now. Actually, next what we're going to discuss is something interesting now. We're going to the intermediary steps. We're going to the while loops, the for loops. We're going to discuss about the functions, the lambdas, the arrays, the classes, the inheritance, the polymorphism, the modules, JSON, regex, string formatting. So we're going to discuss a lot in the next tutorial classes. So like the button, suggest, comment on how you want to be taught or how you want to approach these tutorials and everything. Yeah, so level up. See you next in the next tutorials. And as such, God bless. This was King, and good. You have actually leveled up to somewhere now.